Alright guys, we should be recording here. Got this little mount here. G'day, and how are we all today? Got this little mount here for the car saw, just attached to the hedge trimmer. Got plenty of hedge trimming to do, as we can see. Goes up and around the bend. So I've gone ahead. What I want to explain this morning, I wanted to get this out when it was raining before, but unfortunately that wasn't to be. It was too wet. Didn't want to get this into the wet waterproof case, because again, the reviews on this, the microphones aren't the best, so then in the case it's even worse. So what I want to do is just quickly run through a process of how I attack something like this, how you would quote something like this, and reasons as to why, all of that, and hopefully you'll get an understanding, because these were planted sort of 2 years ago in drought conditions, and they've only just started to come thickening up now. Like, it's taken that whole time to get to this stage. So we don't want to go too hard with the trimming, being winter. We've still got frosts to come. We've still got plenty of cold temperatures for the next 2 months. So we're going to wait and see, once I get into this, see how twiggy it looks, and I'll just sort of govern it as I go through. But anyway, what I want to do, explain, is the whip snipper. Let's make sure we're on here. It was used first, run right along the edge, whole way along. Then you come back, and then it's spitting it back into the side. Right, so probably can't see my hand there. And then as we're coming through, it's just getting the grass that's growing through, all through here. Now, it's never going to be perfect when it's been this long since it was planted. You're not going to get every last little strand of grass that's growing through here. But the idea of this is to get the bulk out, get them pruned up, get them propped up, and then around the back of the fence line as well we're going to be hitting. And then you can just get a board, put a board over the top, peel back the actual hedge, and spray some Roundup, glyphosate, organic weed killer, whatever you want to use, straight over the top. And luckily the sun will be coming out later today, so we'll be able to do that. So the next thing after the whip snipper there, we come through and hand pulled as much as we could. Okay, so reaching over, what you just saw me doing a second ago, but reaching right over in and amongst, pulling it back, getting anything that's down in amongst it, reaching underneath, pulling out what you can. And now this isn't going to be all of it, because now after I've done that, work back through, and it's good because you just treat it like a process. Everything's a process in this industry. Come up, come back, all the way along in each thing that you're doing. So snipper, up and back, pull, up and back. Got the hedge trimmer. I'm going to run down one side the whole way, come back, and then as I get to the end again, that's when I start the top, and same deal, come back and pretty up the top at the end. So as you're going through it, you're just pulling it out, anything that's sitting on top as you go, and then you can sort of make it all happen from there. So a bit of fun. Hopefully this works alright on the end of this attachment here. Only just got it sort of aimed to where I wanted it. Still might end up getting a GoPro tomorrow, just because I don't like the sound on these things. Image quality, I can't really complain, they're pretty good. So we'll get some footage here. I'll just move this camera along and I'll speed it up where we need to, run it right through. Last step that I will do, there's three more, is mowing, mulching up all this debris. So I've got the little husky in the trailer there. I would have brought the V-Ride, however, knowing it's very soft underfoot, being a nice property, nice area, you don't want to be chopping up lawns. This isn't a regular client. It's sort of, I have worked for this client before in the past, probably 1.5 years ago. So it is, again, different pricing for that, but also for the type of work, because it is not the most fun work, weed pulling and grass pulling out, and this is a fairly large, long run. It's all overgrown. Everyone's under the understanding it's not going to be perfect. It hasn't been touched in 2 years. To train a hedge, you need to continually do it, same as a lawn. So all of that factored, has determined the price. And when you're quoting for it, look at all them things. So I rang prior, made sure everyone was understanding that it's not going to be perfect underneath, and if it wants to be, it's pretty much going to be all day just prettying up underneath, and then we'll have to come back to do the actual hedge, because there is so much grass in amongst it. But everyone's happy, like it's just going to be taken down. Same with the heights. There's different heights in all of this. It's just going to be picking a height for these other shorter ones to grow up to, and then start to train them. Because yeah, it's just consistency then. So we'll go from there. I'll set this up and then just move it along. Enjoy the footage, guys. Thanks for watching. And I'll let you know tomorrow if I get the GoPro. I'll do another episode. And again, when you're doing a recording like this, always ask the owners. I just went and spoke to him before. Everything's sweet. Sorry, just setting this up. And with that, it's just try and eliminate, like when cars are driving past, I try not to show number plates, things like that. You just got to be mindful of it these days. So I've spoken about that before on the channel. But again, if you're just starting out, and I'm definitely no pro at YouTube, so anyway, we'll set this up over here for you. Try and make it as level as I can. Here's a handy little tripod, this thing. Just wait and see here. Don't have much of a tilt action, but that should be fine. You should get nice clouds in the background, and from here I'll be able to swivel at least to there, and then I'll take it up to the corner to finish it off. Alright, so I'll meet you halfway. See you in a second. Interested to see how this little thing works on the hedge trimmer too. Alright, quickly before we push record on this next bit, guys, you can see, hopefully, just how much debris is still underneath from where it got snippered and how much I could reach in underneath and pull it out. There's still a lot of grass. That this is why you just do it in this process, is what I believe works best. And then that way you can reach in, clearly see you've got a clear, nice neat path. It's the same as why I do the sides first rather than the top, because the higher the hedge especially, you want to do the sides first so you can get in nice and close. So by doing the edges first, it means when we're reaching in underneath you can clearly see where it stops and where it begins. So all this under here can easily be hand pulled now. Now I'm not wanting to push this back any further. It's about the limit, and it's fairly even, fairly straight. I'll give you a quick look down the line, but you got one more pass to do yet, so just don't get ahead of yourself when you're doing it, because you can always take a bit more off. Once you take it off, you don't want to be eating in anymore. So hopefully you've got that there, and I'll pull it right down. Okay, so you just get a rough guide this first pass. Next one's the tidy up and really getting it straight, and then it's just about regular visits then. And if it's not us, then it's got to be the owner or somebody else, but it needs to be regular. So that's what you let the clients know at the end of it, just to train it. That's all it needs, just routine. Swing it around and show you this. Alrighty, final passes down this side, on the sides, and then I'll come back through doing the tops, and then as we branch up this way I'll just swing it from here, getting the gist of it I hope. The underneath section, you can also tilt your hedge trimmer and run along, just create, it's like a floating hedge. I really like the look of it. It helps get airflow up underneath the plant as well, and it'll really thicken it up, so just keep a lookout for that as we come through. I'll see what footage I can use of this headpiece, whatever you want to call it there, on the end of the hedge trimmer. If I fasten that up, it's going to look a bit funny, so I'll just use some of that footage, I think. See you at the end. Alright, next stage guys. So see here where it ramps up, that's the new height for these ones, that's the existing for this lot. Alright, eventually they will all come up, and I'm guessing fence height will be the goal, but for now, to leave a neat finish, that was the governing height for that lot through there. Now this will be our new height up until around, they're struggling a bit there, so a bit of draw from the tree roots happening, taking away some nutrients from that corner lot. From there we ramp back up to this height. So I'll quickly show you that continuing, but then after that I probably won't even show it on camera, I'll just stop it there. I'm gonna come through and just hand pull off the top all these little stragglers that have been cut. They're squishing plants down, so in amongst here, anything that's sort of laying down, you come through, pull it up, and you see straight away these ones started springing back up. So they're bits that would be missed if you don't come through. You either rake it off, you pull it off, you blow it off, whatever you got to do. Not the best words there, are they? And yeah, you go through with it like that, and it really creates a nicer finish, rather than you walking away and the final thing you're plucking them off and they stand up. And you're never going to get every single one, especially when it's like this, but at least in between, this is where this extra cost is involved, because there is more of a process. If this was a regular maintained, like it's a Mowing hedge, this one, for anyone that's wondering, but Buxus, Sheena's Gold, anything like that, if you're just taking the top off, typically you can let them leaves fall through the plant and just act as mulch. If you're only just taking so much off, obviously you rake up what you can see and do, but if it's gone through, it's really not going to harm anything. But big twigs going to suppress and sit on the plant, going to stop oxygen, sunlight, everything. So that's the idea of doing this, taking it back to what we're doing, pulling out the grass that's competing for light and oxygen. So you just want to get airflow happening in hedges. That's the main thing. All right, I'll leave it there, and we'll continue down this way. Thanks for watching again. Hope this camera's doing an okay job. I will improve it, I promise. I'll just invest 600 into a GoPro. Righto, enjoy guys. Alright, still coming along here, taking it all off the top. You would have seen at the end of that footage, just taking all the debris off the top there. So we'll roll with that. We'll get this camera set up for the mower when I get that going. And yeah, so I've got more hand pulling to pull out the tops. Once I do get that debris off the top, I'll run back through with a hedge trimmer, just give the final polish, and then I'm going to come through, rip out underneath, and then also get the snipper going, and then finally the mower, mulching up as much as I can, raking this into piles, because the owners are going to get rid of it themselves. So helps keeps costs down that way too, so providing options like that also helps. So just rake it up into neat piles, and away you go. So talk to you at the end of it guys. Thanks for watching. again. Hello, up to the final stages now. Going to see me raking, bringing it all out, getting all the debris out. Going to go through, possibly with a whip snipper after that, and then with my hands, final little pulls that I've got pulled out. Then you're going to see an angle from the rake here, and you're going to see an angle on the mower as we go through and chop it all up. So enjoy. Righto, thanks for sticking around. Final stages. We've got the mowing to finish and we've got the blowing to do. Raking up into a pile. That's it. Enjoy. Alright guys, finished product just about. Got to rake up a few bits of debris down the back there. Got to blow down this front edge of the Mowing hedge the whole way along. Just blow it up and under, really pretty up this front edge. But all in all, that's the quick and easy way to clean up some greenways. There are easier ways. Having the V-ride would have been a lot easier, but it's come up good. Owners are happy. I'm just going to give it a final blow down, go out the front, check the forecast, make sure I can spray all along the outside edge there to stop grass growing back in, and then this front edge we're going to keep on top of it with the mowing and the edging. So things like this, you're going to have leftovers, little stragglers here and there. You're going to have to just, the perfectionist in you has to let it go, and you got to just look at the grand scheme of things and see, alright, it's a massive improvement of what it was. So when you're quoting what you're quoting, and I'll inform you of that on the drive home and when I'm editing this afternoon, but it's like I said, once off job, not regular. Everything about it was taking bulk off. You got to factor everything in. A lot of extra steps needed for once off jobs like this to get this type of finish, and it's never going to be perfect anyway, but you want to make it as close to. Alright, so I'll talk to you again in a second. Bye. Okay guys, all wrapped up. What is it, 10 to 2, and by the time I got into it there this morning it was about 7:30. That was going to happen, didn't I? You're going to have to look at me on the angle there. Just make sure this trailer's not going to clip anything on the way out of here. Alright, beautiful. We wrapped it up nicely. Promised you some quoting figures. So originally, what was it? It was just a quick and easy visit. It was maybe $400. After we drove past the other day, realised there was a bit more work involved. Rang the clients and said, look, probably going to need close to a full day there, and being past clients, and I know they're good for the money as well, that's how I come up with figures. If it's someone unknown, there would have been a premium even further put on the charge. So without further ado, it's about $600, and it's 10 to 2, so 7:30, 10 to 2, you know what I mean, 6.5 hours. So I'll try and aim for $100 an hour based on, well that's currently, it goes up and fluctuates of course. Some jobs are $200 an hour, some are more than that. But as a whole, I try and aim for that $100 is a happy figure. And that's because with mowing, the amount of regular lawns that I can achieve in a day, which next week I cannot wait. There's a lot of big things, big changes happening now. And it'll be just me next week to trial out this you say route in America, I say route. It's to trial out this system, that's a better one, for one worker. So I'm going to be doing 16 lawns a day, 16 residentials, and that's pretty standard day. Nothing too crazy. Definitely done by 3 o'clock there, so that's 7 till 3, and that's a good day. Go home close to $1,000 if not more on some days. So big week next week, mow week, so on my own that'll be over 5k grossing, and majority of winter, depending on your overheads of course, this all changes and fluctuates, but over winter I try and aim for 3.5 gross. Just if I hit that, that's my minimums that I need to hit just for our overheads and to be able to save what I want to save each week. So you weigh it all up, it becomes pretty doable, and especially once you're doing things like that, you think about it, there's your 6 5s, that's 3,500. So this week we've done a lot more than that. We're pushing that 5k again, finishing the week off nice and cruisy. Get to edit this video, plenty of editing to do on this one, we've got plenty of footage. So I'll try and keep this video around 20 minutes. Going to be doing well, but I'll try my best. So I hope that helps with quoting. Just again, jobs like that, you can mention to the clients, if it's going to be regular, of course you can nearly half that figure based on the fact that you're going to be there once a month, or whatever you need to work out with your figures. But something like that I'd offer once a month, and probably every 6 to 8 weeks over winter for hedge trimming. And that's the thing too, just real quick, I know this is probably again it's going to be a longish video, but there's some great insight that I've really wanting to get through to you guys now is when it comes to winter and your scheduling is a must, in my opinion. A lot of people are talking about it, I've been watching a few, and they're just pretty much just winging it, and that to me isn't the way to run a business. You don't wing it, you want to be on the money, you want to know your figures, everything about the job. You want to be able to go to and from job to job, whatever the case may be. You want to know what your organisational skills are like, because if you don't know how to run that side of it, the figures aren't going to look after themselves. At least I know the systems are in place. I know how much we're going to be hitting. So when I'm going for a loan in the next few months, I'll know exactly what our figures are, income tax time, everything else. It all just shows it exactly, because it is so easy to manage and keep on top of. So with my scheduling, I was really hard this season, and I gave everyone the option to leave if they did not want to continue on my schedule, because it was fortnightly right up till the first week of June for everyone. There was no ifs or buts. People, it was 2 minutes away from me. There was only one little alteration I made for them, because they were strapped for cash and they were going through some cancer treatment. Same deal, I do obviously have a heart and I do care for people, but at the same time I have a business to run, and so where I can, I make allocations and allowances for those clients. But the majority, when there's 2 people working, they know exactly, like, they know what they're doing, is what I'm trying to get at. A lot of people tried to get out early and it just wasn't going to happen. I said, look, if you're going to do it, all these great regular pricing that I provide, they're going to have to change, because you're no longer doing what everyone else is doing. Like 300 other people doing and towing the line, doing the right thing, and then there's a couple that are trying to just get out of it and trying to tell me how to run my business. It doesn't work that way. So stick to your guns with it and know your scheduling. So when you're going through it into winter, all my fortnightly just instantly went monthly from that first week of June. So I pushed it deep into June. It was the second week of June for my acreage clients. So then by the time I wrap around to September again, it wasn't the full 3 months. And that's just how it worked this year. Next year may be different, the way it all finishes. And I based it upon how much rain we had. We had an awesome spring. We've had plenty of rain this winter. We're going to have a booming spring again. It's just going to be flat chat. So I take my 2-week holidays in July, typically. I do my tax, I catch up with family and friends, do what I can to relax, and then get back into it really fresh. And by the time that 2 weeks is up, I'm stinging for it. I'm really ready to go. And it's like still a month in August that I've got to wait for spring to really hit. So I'm excited for the next 2 weeks, because this will be the trial period for this business and this business model for employees going forward, because I know the minimums that I can hit, and if I'm doing that easily, then I need them to be able to at least do it. It might take a little bit of a push to begin with for them to get their heads around the systems and the methods and how I do it, but all in all, I'm going to keep recording these for you guys and show you exactly what I do to create this type of business. So like I said yesterday, that 150,000 net profit. So if you don't know what net profit is, research that. Find out most businesses what they're running at for a profit margin, and you'll find that a lot of them are happy with 20% to 50%, which 50% is pretty good in my opinion, but 20% to me is way too low. I don't see a reason why clients can't do at least 3/4 of what I can do. Clients, employees. And yeah, so as a whole, we're going, it's 65 to 75% profit margins is what we run, and that's leaning more towards the 75% there. So this is why I love this industry. Little limited overheads, plenty of upsell opportunities, and regular opportunities always. So that's the bread and butter. Get that down pat once you got your minimum sorted and you know you're comfortable. earning and saving a couple of grand a week, which is pretty much the goal for a lot of people in business. You need to be doing that. I think it's a good model to begin with and start with, and build from this. So keep watching, keep enjoying them. If you are, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be really pumping this now. Definitely going to get a GoPro so you can hear me a bit better. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Pulling in home now. So good little thing there. That shows you how close I am to home as well. It's not like I'm travelling super far to earn them figures. I'm back here. I've got plenty to keep me busy now for the rest of the day, and I've earned the bare minimum that I need to for the day. So I'm happy. Go enjoy a beer now. Get into the weekend. Catch us later. Bye.